Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation we shall see how to add decimals, how to add decimals, and then let us take an example and then see um, how we can solve this problem. Example number one. So we want to add these numbers 45.8 plus 282.406 plus 81.0934. That is what we have. So we will try to explain the solution in these different steps. So step number one, we want to arrange the numbers vertically, one below the other, vertically, so that the decimal point is on a vertical line in that format. So let's write these numbers down. So the first number we have is 45.8. The second number we have is 282.406. As you can see, we are aligning the decimal points for each of these numbers. And the third number we have is 81.0934. So that is our first step, and as a second step we're going to add these numbers as if we are adding whole numbers, right? So therefore in here, to identify or make sure we are adding the right numbers in the right columns, I'm going to fill up the gaps with zeros. So 45.8 or 045.8000 means exactly the same thing. 282.406 or 282.4060 means exactly the same. Here we are aligning the columns, as you can see. 81.0934 or 081.0934 means exactly the same. The reason we did this was to make sure that we are aligning all these numbers in these columns correctly. So that is the intention. That is the reason why we fill them up with zeros. And now we are ready to add them as if we were adding whole numbers. So 0 plus 4 is equal to 4. 6 plus 3 is equal to 9. 9 plus 0 is equal to 9. 8 plus 4 is 12. So we carry the 1 and then bring down the 2 there. And then we have 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. And then we have 4 plus 8 plus 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. So we carry the 2 and then bring down the 0 here. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now in step 3, we're going to look at the answer and then place the decimal point accordingly. So we're going to place the decimal point right under the decimal place where the rest of the numbers are aligned. So therefore our answer here is 409.2994. When we added these three numbers, the answer came out as 409.2994. This is how we want to be able to understand addition of decimal numbers. Let's look at another example. Let's say this time we want to add these numbers. We want to add 9.64 plus 62.7 plus 0.49105. Let's say we have these three numbers to add. So we'll explain as we explained the previous example. We'll explain the solution of this example with following these different steps. In step number 1, we said we'll write down the numbers and align the decimal points for each of these numbers in a vertical manner. So 9.64 is the first number, and the second number is 62.7, and the third number is 0.49105. So that is what we have, and now we are ready to add them. We'll call this as step 2. In step 2, we're going to add them as if we're going to add whole numbers. And before that, as we have done in the previous example, we want to make sure that we are adding the numbers in the respective columns. So we're going to fill up the numbers in the columns which are short of which are not aligning correctly. So for example in here we want to, let me get this thing down, we want to align 9.64 or 9.64000 means exactly the same thing. So we are aligning these columns. This is our intention. This is what we want to do, and that way we are then sure that we are adding the numbers in their respective place value columns. So 62.7 or 62.70000 means exactly the same, and then 0.49105 or 00.49105 means exactly the same. And now we are ready to add these numbers as if we are adding whole numbers. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 0, there is nothing to add here. There is 1 plus 0 is 1. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1 there and then write the 3 there. And then 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. So we carry the 1 and then bring down the 8 here. And then 9 plus 1 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, so we carry the 1 there and then write the 2 there. 6 plus 1 is 7, and therefore in step 3 we're going to say that we're going to place the decimal point under the decimal point where the rest of the numbers are placed. So this is our answer. This is where we want to leave it. So therefore, when we added these three numbers, the result came out as 72.83105. This is where we want to leave it. In my next presentation, we shall see some more examples related to decimals and how to add them.